Hey man, I'm here for guitar lessons. Is this the right place? Yeah, you got the right place. Why don't you go ahead and grab your guitar and bring it in? Hold up, you mean I was supposed to bring my own guitar? Because I didn't. You signed up for guitar lessons, but you don't have a guitar? I thought I was going to use one of yours. What's up, guys? I'm Jared, and I teach guitar. Today we're going to talk about how to prepare for guitar lessons before you even sign up for your first class. So before you even think about taking lessons, you should probably own a guitar. Like, how are you going to take guitar lessons if you don't even have a guitar? But anyways, yeah, you should have a guitar because you're going to have to practice at home. You can't learn just by playing in the classroom for 30 minutes a week with your teacher. But there's a little more to it than that. You can't just get any old guitar because not all guitars are made the same. There's this thing that I like to refer to as the Amazon guitar. It's not necessarily every guitar that comes from Amazon, but most of these guitars that I've seen like this did come from Amazon. So the problem with these is that they don't hold a tune and they break really fast and they're hard to play. And if your guitar is hard to play, you're not going to want to practice, and if you don't want to practice, you're not going to learn guitar. Simple as that. But Jared, what kind of guitar should I get? Excellent question, so glad you asked. So the biggest thing you need to look for is a truss rod in your guitar. A truss rod is a metal rod that runs down the length of the neck to counterbalance the tension from the strings, so your guitar doesn't fold in half when you tune it. There are a lot of cheap guitars out there that don't have this, so when you tune it, the whole guitar just kind of bends and then it goes out of tune and it's really hard to play and it's just straight up not a good time, bro. The downside to this is when you're shopping for a guitar online, they're probably not going to say whether or not they have a truss rod in them. But that's okay because any guitar that's less than about $75 probably won't have a truss rod. Just go ahead, shell out the extra money, get a decent guitar. Okay, but you still haven't answered the question, what kind of guitar should I get? Well, it kind of depends on if you want to play an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar. They're both about the same in the end, but there's a few key differences. An acoustic guitar is kind of like a cowboy guitar. They don't need an amplifier, they don't need electricity. You just put the strings on and play, it's great. And you can take these things anywhere. You could take an acoustic guitar to like a camp out or something and play around the campfire. But they're a little bit harder to play because the strings are thicker, they hurt your fingers a little more. An electric guitar, on the other hand, you're probably familiar with them. They're what you're going to see a rock star playing on stage. They're thinner and they need an amplifier to play, but the strings are also easier to play so it doesn't hurt your fingers as bad. Most old school teachers prefer their students to learn on an acoustic guitar, but I don't like that because electric guitars are easier to play, so why wouldn't you want to learn on that one? Unfortunately, the electric guitar has a little bit more upfront cost because you need the guitar and the amplifier. So to get a decent acoustic guitar, it'll probably cost you around $150, and that's it. To get an electric guitar setup, you're looking around $250 or $300. If you still need help deciding which guitar to get, there are some links down below to some pretty decent setups. So you bought your guitar and now you're ready to call and schedule a lesson, but before you make the call, figure out what your schedule is. Take a piece of paper, write down something like Monday evenings, Thursday evenings, Saturday mornings. That way, when your instructor says, I'm available Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings, and Saturday all day, you can just say, oh, perfect, I have Mondays open, let's do that. And then once you schedule your appointments, keep that time open. You're paying to be there, so you might as well go. You got your guitar, you booked the lesson, now what kind of music do you listen to? If you don't listen to music, I'm not saying you're in the wrong place, but you might be in the wrong place taking guitar lessons. One of the very first questions that I ask when somebody comes in for their first lesson is, what kind of music do you like? And it's always kind of funny because most people are like, well, I don't really know. And I'm like, well, when you get in your guitar, when you get in your guitar, when you get in your car, what do you play? And sometimes they're like, Gary Allen, Led Zeppelin. But sometimes I have people who are like, Post Malone, Lil Wayne. Like, how are we going to play guitar to that, dude? Point being, before you start taking guitar lessons, maybe check out some music with a guitar in it. And then after you listen to music with some guitar parts in it, Figure out what you like, because the next question I'm going to ask you is, what are your goals? Where do you want to go with your guitar playing journey? What kind of music would you like to learn? Do you want to learn to shred? Do you want to play country music? Do you want to play at your family reunions or go to parties and play Wonderwall? Do whatever you want, but figure out what you want. Your answer to this question makes a world of difference to your teacher, because then they know how to structure your lessons. If you just want to play some Metallica riffs, they're not going to teach you all the notes on the fretboard. They're not going to teach you music theory. They're just going to show you how to read tabs and play some riffs. And if you want to learn more after that, cool, we can go on. But if you don't have any goals already, you're probably going to get some pretty bland lessons, because you're just going to start at the beginning. You're going to learn like E string, first fret is F. E string, third fret is G. E, F, G. And it's going to be so boring. But if you know what you like, you can start playing that stuff almost from the very beginning. So you got your guitar, you made your appointment, and before you go, you Google how to play guitar. You learn a few chords, you learn the riff to Enter Sandman, you show up for your first lesson, and you already know everything that your instructor is telling you. What a waste of time. So how do you fix this? Well, know what you know. When you go in for your first lesson and your instructor asks you all these questions, be sure to tell him, oh, by the way, I know how to play the G chord and the D chord, and I learned how to play the opening to Enter Sandman. That way you can just skip over all that stuff. You don't have to relearn it. I had a student a while back that came in and said that they were an absolute beginner, and then I was like, okay, cool, well, we're gonna learn a chord today. We're gonna learn the D chord. And he was like, oh, like this? But yeah, like that. Okay, you already know that. Let's move on. G chord. And he was like, oh, like this. Okay, what do you know? And he was like, nothing, I'm a beginner. You know something. He was like, no, I don't know anything. Okay, let's learn an A chord. Oh, like this. Okay, how about, do you want to like read some tabs? And he was like, oh, I know how to do that. And we wasted the whole first lesson. So save yourself some time and tell your teacher what you already know so that you can get the most value out of your lessons. And finally, if you're not going to set time aside during the week to practice, don't even sign up for lessons, because you don't learn in the classroom, you learn on your own time. As a teacher, I can only give you the tools to be successful. It's up to you whether or not you use them. I usually recommend playing 5 minutes a day. That's all it takes, just 5 minutes. And a good way to get in a habit of this is to practice your guitar before or after something you do every day, like brushing your teeth or eating dinner. So every day you wake up, you brush your teeth, and then you go pick up your guitar for about 5 minutes. Or you get home after work or school, you eat a snack, you eat dinner, and you go pick up your guitar for 5 minutes. Just practicing that much is all it takes to learn how to play. And when you're learning an instrument, repetition is key. So if you practice a little bit every day, that's way better than practicing a lot of it one day. And trust me, your teacher can tell when you don't practice. So if you do all these things, you get a quality guitar, you know your schedule, you listen to music with guitar in it, you hit the like button, you plan to practice, you're gonna be a successful guitar student. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching, and good luck learning guitar.